All right, folks. We are over here in the jailhouse. Donnie's in the jailhouse.
We're in the jailhouse now.
So they've got the beams in, or at least part of them, with the posts. But one of our problems is, so far, since we ripped out a lot of the lighting and everything, we need to put it back in. So a lot of the lighting had been done real haphazard. This is an old building. The original wiring would have been, I think the building is from 26 or so. So it's this tube and knob, or what's it called, Donnie?
Knob and tube, maybe.
Knob and tube. This is tube and knob and tube stuff. That's the original wiring right there going to some of the stuff. And we even have one of these. Show that box there, Donnie. That appears to be one of the original boxes. We're definitely not using any of that kind of crap. But some of that, I think they were still using in the building. I don't know about that knob and tube wiring. They may have run other wiring to it.
It looks like that wire right there is a newer wire that they run out of there.
Yeah, whenever we cut it, we taped that off. That was still running to the box. That box was still live. Mm-hmm. It's that wire on the top there. See how it goes up and over? Yeah. That was live.
That's crazy.
So anyway,
if you can find those little tubes there, they make great knife sharpeners.
Uh-huh. Well, we've got some here. But the whole thing is, we need to get some lighting in here. So we've got some stuff just plugged into the wall because some of the power is still working. But we need to basically redo all the power. We don't want to leave old, screwed up wiring. Who the hell knows how they put it in. So we're about to update some of the wiring. Now, some of this stuff we have to have an electrician do. We're down here usually on Sundays when there's nobody around to work or anything. So we're doing it. So some of this we have to have an electrician do. We're going to do some of it in this video, and then we're going to have an electrician go behind us and fix whatever we did wrong. I don't think we'll be doing anything wrong enough that it will burn anything down, but there might be some stuff that doesn't go to code or something like that. So we're going to...
and we never leave the main breaker on anyway.
Yeah, when we leave these buildings like this, we leave them sitting around for a week. We turn all the breakers off. Even on our arcade business, okay, whenever we close each night, we turn off all the breakers in the building. Because who knows what you left plugged in or turned on or whatever, so we're real careful about that. So we're gonna do a little bit of electrical today, but if you don't feel comfortable doing that, or if it's against the law where you live, it's not here. Where we're at, it is not against the law to work on your own electrical. So we don't have a problem with that, but we are going to have an electrician who knows what they're doing. Check it out after we do it. But anyway, what we're going to do today is we're going to run some lights up here to the front of the building. So they've gotten rid of most of these walls because they've got the beam in. So in the front of this building, there are two big windows, and we are going to put some down directional lights. What do they call them?
Can lights.
They're can lights, but they're not really cans. I'll show you what we're messing with. They're LED lights. We're going to put a couple of them behind each one of these picture windows. So whenever we get everything opened up, we're going to have nice down lights here in the front in case, let's say they've got a little retail store in here, a little antique store or something, and they put something in the window. Those lights will shine down and illuminate it.
We got a big to do out here. You got to come look. There's a traffic jam in town.
Oh, what?
Over at the ATM.
I'm running.
The ATM got a traffic jam.
Oh my Lord. There's 4 people at the ATM. There's 4 people, Donnie.
That's a traffic jam. That is a traffic jam for town.
All right, put the stuff down here where we can see it. Because there's no lights in here yet, Donnie. So here's what we got. Here's our lights. Now, by the way, I'm not coughing because of the virus. I'm coughing because of the insulation. Got a little draft going through here now. So this is an old building. We're going with, you know, it's straight up 1926. So we're taking it back to the walls, the old tin ceiling, all that. So you got to do period correct things. But with that said, these can lights end up looking pretty good because they end up just being a little circle of light up in the ceiling. So it works pretty good. So I don't know what we're going to do for the main lighting yet, but for the front here,
What the hell? Have I said thank you, Lowe's?
the bag fell apart.
That's what Lowe's does for you.
It's probably all the little metal things. So anyway, all that to tell you, these are the lights we're going to put in the window. LED lights. They are canless. They call them downlight something. I don't know. Anyway, you can adjust the color too, the warmth of the LED. So we're going to do that. So we're going to put 4 of these in the front, right behind the windows, that will be used to illuminate maybe product if they put them in the window. Donnie, what do you think?
Product.
You like these? You think these look good?
Yeah. Is that the same one we used down at the other place?
No, I've never used these before.
You know, the
Wait, where are those made? You may not know, but this has been a recurring theme on your channel.
China.
They're made in China.
China.
They're made in China, people. But I hate to do that. But
We're
you know,
trying to get away from
I've looked before in the store, and you can't get them that aren't made in China easily. You have to order them. But anyway, we're going to try these. What I like about these is they are, so with the clips, you can insert them from the bottom. So this is, you know, we're doing rework stuff instead of brand new construction. So that helps. But I like how they have an actual electrical box on them so that you can wire it up significantly instead of just putting plugs and crap. I hate that kind of stuff. So we're going to wire these up. Another thing that we're going to do is, so we're going to give it a dedicated breaker on the box. I'm going to run it up to the front. And then when I get up here, I'm going to put a box up there that the power runs into. And the reason I'm going to do that is so that I can split it from there. We're going to run it down this wall and put a on-off switch, a light switch. And then at the same time, we're also going to hook up to the lights that are out front. There is this, what would you call this, Donnie? I believe this would be called a portico, wouldn't it?
Mezzacue.
A mezzacue. I don't think that's a real word. But there is this little porch out here on the front of the building that somebody added at some point. It's a little rough right now, but we've looked at it. It's solid. It can be fixed. So we're going to fix it up. And there's a light out here. And we're probably not going to leave that fluorescent light, but there will be a light out here, and there may even be a old school. We may put old school fans out here. The breeze out here underneath this thing is amazing. See the flag? The breeze that comes down this sidewalk is like amazing. If you sit out here on this bench, it's the coolest place in town. Like right now, whew, I don't even think I want to go back inside, Donnie.
So fresh.
It's so fresh and so clean. So anyway, we're gonna make this real nice. Now, by the way, all this stuff we're doing, none of this costs very much money. All that electrical stuff, it was about $80 worth of stuff, right? And but we're going to end up putting a light out here. We'll probably put something vintage looking out here, hanging in the middle, and then we may put a fan over here and a fan over there. I'm not sure we're going to do that yet, though. But we may not even need them because you get a pretty good breeze just sitting out here. And if we do it, we'll put one with fiberglass blades or something so that they don't do that droop thing that they do.
Yeah, they did that here in town, and that was the talk of the town, the droop in the fan.
Yeah. Where was that? In our place?
It wasn't ours.
Oh, we can't say. He don't want to throw nobody up. Oh, how they never replaced it. That just got worse and worse. Yeah, I remember what you're talking about. So if we do put a fan out here, we will put. We'll put 2. If we put one over there. And one over here. And if we do put one, we will use fiberglass blades that are droop proof. All right, so we're going to go start with the electrical. All right, so this building has an old service in it, but this is actually a sub panel. The main breaker is outside on the back, on the meter box. So we turned off the power. We actually took a couple things out of this box because there was stuff that wasn't hooked up anymore. There was actually, the original service came from the front of the building in, and that was still just in the box but not hooked up. And then at some point the power company came and put in a new service coming in from the back. So remember, we had a drop ceiling in here. And so all of this was above the drop ceiling. Well, we're trying to get it up above the original ceiling. The way I wish they would have done it before, but I can understand why they didn't. So that our large cable here is coming in. This is a 100 amp box. And there's a 100 amp breaker out back feeding this box. So it's coming in, but whenever they switched it, they didn't even put a grommet. So it doesn't even run through a grommet. It just runs into the sub panel. So we're going to have an electrician swap that over for us. But we were able to remove a couple things, remove the original service line that was disconnected and still hanging in it. And we were able to hook up one of the breakers again to this line that we're taking out the front, run new, of course, our new lines in. And ours is this, what do they call that? I always get it wrong. Let me go look at the bag. MC, so it's metal clad. The reason that we use that is because, first of all, it's commercial. So you're not even really supposed to use this Romex and stuff with the vinyl shield on it in commercial, but we'll probably eventually replace all of that. A lot of that's not going to be hooked up, or it's running the lights now that are going to be replaced, and we're just going to run metal clad to everything. Another reason that we do that is because there's just issues, like we're running through the tin up here at the top. If you run that vinyl through the tin, you know, that could be a serious electrical hazard there. That's why these old buildings burn down. It's crap like that. So we've got metal clad going up through a drilled hole through the top of that wall, and then also through the tin, and then running up to the front. So eventually we'll have that on pretty much every circuit, hopefully. And then we'll see from there. But we've got it all hooked back up so we can turn the power back on and get some more lights in here besides our flashlight. Oh, and another thing, if you use the metal clad, the code is different. So you're allowed to fish it through ceilings and things like that without having the same fasteners and things like that. We'll probably need some here right after as it comes out of the box. There's probably supposed to be some, but we'll check with the electrician on all that. But up in the ceiling, you don't have to have it. You don't have to have it attached, going over the rafters and things like that, because you're fishing it through a previous construction. So we've got our line. We're running it all the way up to the front, and we've got it on a breaker. Breaker, of course, is turned off, and we can run it up to a box in the front. Next thing we have to do is figure out where our light switch is going to be. Okay, so if you've been watching us so far, you know that part of it is we're trying to figure out all the times this thing was restored or reworked. And Donnie, just to the left of the door here, has pulled off the paneling. And behind the paneling, the brick is unpainted, and you can see where they would have reworked it at some point. Now, the paneling is from when it was Town Hall. So, it was Town Hall in the 60s and 70s, and, you know. So,
the paneling's from the 80s. What did 85?
What did it say? I can't remember.
I think it was 85.
Whatever the paneling said. And so, it's been attached.
They put one on there backwards, and they put one on front ones.
I don't know, man. I don't know. So, we're still trying to figure it out. But, we got right beside the door, which is the facade. You know, the front is painted, so you can't tell as easy. But right beside the door, that brick is nice and new. Now, a guy reworked this building into a insurance office in, when did we decide that was, Donnie? We've been off a couple weeks, so whatever you probably know better than we do if you've been watching our videos. But
the in like
2003 or something. There was something somewhere.
Right there, 89 and 90.
Was
that?
Yeah, but the insurance office, we figured something out. It was
the painting on the front was in 97.
97. It was stenciled on the window. Okay, so that was when the guy reworked it into an insurance office. So it kind of looks like that brick would be from about 97, but Donnie thinks that it's older than that because it had the Town Hall-ish paneling over it.
Did have the paneling over it.
It could have been they moved the paneling from somewhere else in the building.
But in the 70s and 60s, 70s, 80s, I don't think they was using aluminum doors.
Oh yeah, they were. That doorway is from the 50s or 60s.
I thought they used metal back then.
No. That's straight up late 50s, early 60s.
Oh.
Yeah, our ones in Rock Hill are like that too. Same thing.
Well,
See the one across the street? That's probably the original doors and everything on that one.
yeah, but like
That was built in the 50s.
like the hardware store, wooden doors.
Yeah, but it's older.
The post office, wooden doors.
It's older.
The,
All that was built in the 20s.
All that stuff down there is old.
Yeah, it's all all older buildings.
It's all fucking wood.
Yeah, the aluminum, they started doing that kind of like in the 50s. Okay, so anyway, we found that. So what we're going to do, we're going to mount our light switch here, and we kind of need to know that because we got to run some conduit to it, and I got to know where to put the box. I'm going to run the metal clad to a box up there, and then conduit down the wall to the light switch because we're trying to make it all look good for the tin ceiling that's going to be in, and make it where everything fits and looks how it's supposed to. All right.
I was listening to Randy.
Yeah, we had to turn down Randy Travis so we could film this. So we mounted the two switch boxes. So one of the switch boxes is going to go up and turn on the 4 lights that we're installing in the front today. I mean, one of the switches. We're going to have a second switch that's going to... Did I get the freaking outlet ones instead of the switch ones? Yep. Damn. I bought the wrong covers. We'll go see if we got the right ones across the street. But anyway... so there's going to be 2 switches in this box that do the one of them does the 4 lights in the windows, and one of them will do the light outside and maybe the fan if there's fans outside, and then the other box will do the lights for the rest of the building on one side and the lights for the rest of the building on the other side of the beam. So we're putting them in. Next up, conduit. Donnie is cutting through the tin. All right, we popped a couple of them up in there. I will show you how we wire them here in a minute, but we are over, basically the power end's there, it's looping over to here, it's looping out of there over to the box that we have hanging right now, but it's going to mount up there on top of the conduit and attach to the top of the beam. So now we're getting the wiring for the switch so that we can go down through the conduit with it. All right, Donnie, what have we done here?
Worked.
So we ran a line all the way from the back. Now, people, we know this looks really rough. Part of what is important about being able to do this kind of work is being able to see the diamond in the rough.
Oh yeah.
We all know that this building is the gem of Jefferson. It's just nobody has taken the time to fix it up yet. So look at this beautiful brick wall here that Donnie has found. Yeah, see, look, he's cleaning that off.
Polishing that thing.
Nice aluminum. So here's what we did. We ran a line from the back to a box up there in the ceiling.
Up there?
Yeah. And then we ran a line out of that box down the line, down the conduit to the switch. Now, we also ran a second line, hot line, down the conduit to another switch. Now, we didn't have to do that. We could have just jumped it off the other switch, but I didn't think about that until we'd already done it. Okay? So we have 2 hot lines running down to 2 switches. We also have 2 neutral lines running down because that's the new code. The new code is you have to have a neutral line in the light switch box so you can run a smart switch. So this 100-year-old building may get smart switches at some point in the future because there's a neutral line in that box. Okay? Then we ran we also ran the ground down, of course. Hooked it all to the box. Then we ran 2 hot lines off of the switch, so switched lines off of each switch, one off each, back up to the box, same box. And then one of the lines runs to these 2 lights that we had put in, right? And then all the neutrals are tied together because it all has the same source, right? The same breaker. So we wired up those 2 lines. And then we ran the other switch line back up to the box. And we tied it in with the line that is out front, the light out there. And then we put all that together inside the box. And we also ran another line out of the box, running over to the 2 lights that are going to be on that side. So the line hanging down over there does not have the black and the white wires touching. Okay? So we just turned on the freaking breaker. So what that means is, if we hit that switch, it's going to turn on the power to that line. And it's going to turn on the power to these 2 lights, and then the other switch will turn on the power to outside. So we're going to test it. Donnie, Test it. Ah, boy, it's looking like 1950 up in here. What do you think, Donnie?
Up in here, up in here.
Look at that. Man, they look nice and bright too.
Uh-huh.
Wow. So the ones over there we haven't put in yet, but we're going to. And then the one outside, try it, Donnie.
I'm gonna turn this one off.
Okay.
Turn this one on.
Oh, hey.
One light, come on.
One light bulb is on. Huh.
All four ends are black. They're probably burnt.
Okay, we'll try putting some new bulbs in. All right, so pretty cool. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put the other two fixtures in. So it comes with a little template, 4.3 inches. And you use that template to drill a hole. Donnie, though, had a drill bit that is 4.3 inches. So Donnie just eyeballed it. He loves doing the eyeball. So here's how we're wiring them up. I like these because they have like an actual box on them, you know. Some of them come out and they have like like it's a socket, like a base, like a light bulb that you screw in. But these have an actual box. So we've already wired up 2 of them. So the wire comes in. We're putting a little fitting. We're doing it all with MC metal clad, you know. And we're putting our little red bushing in and running that crap right in there. It has these newer quick connects. I read up about these. These are code and they say that they rock. I've used them on a couple things, but that's what it all is now. And you'll notice there's only room for 2 because they only let you plug it in 2 things. But that works fine for how we're doing it. And then on this particular one, it has this little switch here. So you can change the color of the light. So what we have got them set on is warm white, 3000 Kelvin. And the reason we set them on that is because it's an older building, you know. You want everything looking a little more old, antiquish. You can turn it up to that cool daylight, but it, you know, it kind of looks kind of. So you can see how it's got a nice kind of warm look to it. It's more of a yellow light than a white light. So, and we definitely don't want that blue light. Whenever they're blue looking, yeah, you seen those, Donnie, when they're blue? Ugh. Ugh. All right, so I'm gonna wire this up. We'll put it in and then we'll daisy chain it over to the other one, and then that should get those 2 working on the same switch. So we're gonna we'll see what we can do. Boy, Donnie, it sure is dark in here. Oh, hell. Oh, man, you got the whole front of the building lit up. Wow. How'd you do that?
Just ran a little wire from there to 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 there. Got it.
How long did it take you, Donnie?
Like 4 days.
How hot is it, Donnie?
Too hot to be messed with.
You think on the other side of that door, where that little piece of wall is left that we can get rid of now, you think that's going to have a nice brick front like the other side does?
Man, I hope it does.
If it does, we're home free.
Won't believe it. The only thing that's got me a little worried is over here, where it's not like that.
Yeah, well, that other side's probably like it too.
But hopefully,
Yeah, all right.
if it's all the same, we're going to sit in high cotton.
All right, so of course, people, we still have to paint the tin. I mean, and you know, replace all of the tin that's missing and clean everything up. So this is not finished. It's just we had to go ahead and get them in so that we'd have some lights in here. So we'll pull them down and hang them out of the holes whenever we paint it. Now we also did the light switch. I forgot the plate, so I have to get a plate for it. We also did the light switch for the light outside. Hit it, Donnie. So there is one bulb that works. We swapped the bulbs with other ones. One side of the fixture works with one side, the other side doesn't. But it's no big deal because we're going to replace that fixture with something a little nicer. Look, it's not even centered. So here's the middle of the door. That ain't even centered. Well, so we're going to put something a little nicer up there eventually after we get this all fixed up out here. We have some rotted wood here we have to replace. But it's coming along. So yeah, I think it's a good little start for the lighting, the electrical. Very nice. Donnie's fighting with the door. I got it.
Door stop.
All right, Donnie, what do you think?
Think it's good.
Think it's good?
Think it looks excellent.
Excellent, he said.
Excellent.
Excellent. It excels.
And you know, for say $80, $90, yeah, that's cheap.
It'll be good whenever they have something they put in the window and, you know,
Yeah.
people walk by like old times. And they'll look in and see the wonderful accoutrements that they have in front of the window for sale. And the lights will be shining down on it. I can see it happening. There goes somebody else. Look, lots of traffic in town this evening.
The little doggy in the window.
Yeah, exactly. Donnie made an antenna out of the electrical conduit. All right, so that's it. That's what we got done today. A little bit of lighting. We got the electrical done in the beginning, front of the building. But you know what that means is we can start finishing up the ceiling because we're done with everything that goes this far out. So we can start working this way back. And we can start removing the rest of the paneling on the front and putting up the crown molding and all of that good stuff.
Ain't much longer now. Just another couple days and we'll be finished.
Yeah, exactly. Not much to it but to do it. All right, folks, so tell them what to do, Donnie.
Give us a thumbs up for filming it. Like the channel, subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you, folks.